What's goody? Welcome to the Pacers Premium Podcast, Episode 5. I'm your host, Donnie Ray, and I like to start off every podcast just saying, obviously this is a Pacers podcast, but what makes me different from all the other podcasts is I try to remain unbiased. Even though I'm a Pacers fan, I'm going to give that real take. I always say what I'm thinking, whether it's good or bad for my team. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I might cuss here or there, might say an N-word here or there. So if this isn't what you are comfortable with, you might want to turn me off. But if that's what you're comfortable with, if that's what you rhyme with, Donnie Ray here for you. So let's go ahead and get into it. Pacers Premium Podcast, Episode 5. So Pacers remain at 6th in the Eastern Conference, still at 11th in the ESPN Power Rankings. Literally nothing has changed from last week. I mean, they've been consistent, to say the least, you know what I'm saying? They always getting those dubs throughout the week, but there's always that one loss, and you just like, man, I just wish they could keep that streak going. So we'll see what they can do the rest of the season. So Pacers, they're 20-10. They're a half game back from Philly, who's 21-10, and Philly's actually tied with Toronto for the 4th and 5th spot. And the Pacers, they're 3.5 games in front of Brooklyn, who sits at 16-13. So, like I said, the Pacers, they've been consistent, and they stayed at the 6th spot for at least, 5 weeks. I've been doing this podcast for 5 weeks. They've been at 6 the whole time. So they've remained consistent, and they're actually gaining ground on Philly. We're only a half game back. We were like a game and a half back last week. So they're gaining ground. They're remaining consistent, but we need to make that leap, man. I'm trying to get into the top 4 of the Eastern Conference. You know what I'm saying? If we get in the top 4, that'll give us a good seed. Now, I know we don't have Vic back right now, but I just want us to get over that hump and get into the top 4. So, game recaps. We beat the Lakers on Tuesday, 105-102. Sabonis had 26-10. Brogdon had 14-6-5. T.J. Warren had 12-5. And Miles Turner had 16-7. Now, like I said at the beginning, I always try to remain unbiased. So, that's a decent game for Miles. I would like him to get a couple more points, like him get a couple more rebounds. But that's a good game. If he can do that consistently, I won't have nothing bad to say about Miles. Like I said, I want to remain unbiased. I'm always unbiased. I like to keep it real. When Miles is getting 5-5, yes, I'm gonna have something to say about that. But when he's doing 16-7, he's getting 18-8, stuff like that, I'm cool with that. Now I would like it to be 20-10, but when he's doing that, I'm not gonna have too much to say. So I just need Miles to do what he's expected to do, man. That's all I'm asking, man. People think I'm a Miles Turner hater. That's not true. I just want him to do what he's expected to do. So, the Lakers on that game, they came out like with a ton of fucking energy. JaVale McGee was like, on a oop, was like the first 2 points of the game, you know what I'm saying? So they came out with a ton of energy, and they had us down pretty much the whole first half. I don't think we got a lead until the beginning of the third quarter. And then it was halfway through the third, I think it was, Jeremy Lamb knocked down a tough fucking come around off a pick 3. It was a tough ass 3. And then just after that, that gave us a spark, and it was just downhill from there, you know what I'm saying? Pacers we just took off. And then in the fourth quarter, the game was tied at 100, and then Brogdon came around and hit it was a nasty up and under layup. I was that was nice, and that gave us the 104, 102, and then we ended up getting a free throw, and we ended up winning 105-102. So that was just a good game from the Lakers. I didn't expect us to win that. You know what I'm saying? I said that on the last podcast. I didn't expect us to win that game. But we came in, we grinded it out, got the dub. Boys was D'ing up. Now, Anthony Davis obviously didn't play, so that, without a doubt, played a factor into it. But that can't take away the dub that we got. We still beat the Lakers. Like, I seen one of the memes or something, people were saying they didn't have Anthony Davis, but we didn't have Victor Oladipo. So, you know what I'm saying? It all evens out. So, that's a good win. And one thing I wanted to say is I hate on Alex Caruso, but that is a hooping ass white boy. I have to give it to him. He is tough. I was watching his game, and he's a tough guy, man. So shout out Alex Caruso. And really, just the only thing that makes me hate him is just like how people troll so much. Like, they just really talk like he's just like it was like it's Alex Caruso's team and stuff like that. Like, that stuff like that makes me dislike Alex Caruso. But like I said, his game is nice. So shout out Alex Caruso. So beat the Lakers on Monday or Tuesday, my bad. Beat the Lakers on Tuesday, and then they beat the Kings on Friday, 119-105. And that was their 5th straight win. TJ Warren had 23 points, 4 rebounds, and he only had 1 assist. And that was one thing that like caught my eye when I was looking at the box score. I just wish he would get more assists. It's good for him to score. And like I said, when TJ Warren scores buckets, we win games. The facts are right there. The proof is in the pudding. But I just wish he would get more assists, be more of a facilitator. I'm not saying he need to get 10 assists. I'm not saying he need to get no triple-double. But if he can get those assist numbers up to like more like a 5, I feel like that'll help the whole team out, and the whole team will be better, and they'll be able to get more points from different areas, whether it's Sabonis, you know what I'm saying, Lamb, Brogdon. Just ball movement is always better, you know what I'm saying? So I just wish TJ would get more assists. I hope somebody says that to him. Okay, so like I said, TJ had 23 and 4. Miles Turner had 17 and 3. Good game. Like I said, I wish his rebounds would get up there, but 17 points, can't really complain about that. Like, I just wish he would get more rebounds. Sabonis had 15 and 6, and McConnell had 15 and 8. And I just wanted to say, man, one thing, like I was watching McConnell, and he is the fucking epitome of Indiana basketball. I know I said it like that, Indiana, but he's the epitome of Indiana basketball. Like, he's a fucking grinded out guy. He fucking comes in the game, ton of energy at all times. He doesn't fucking care that he's coming off the bench. He knows his role, and he just fucking is a hooper, bro. Like, and apparently his dad coaches in Pennsylvania, and he's the fastest coach to 500 wins. So just like the basketball knowledge and shit just runs through his veins. But I was just like watching him play, and he just be making smart plays. Like, he's a JJ Barea 2.0 type player. Like, he just come around hitting these jump shots, getting these nice little passes. Like, he's a tough player, man. He can get to the bucket. He's small, but he can get to the bucket. Like JJ Barea, like TJ McConnell is tough. I'm glad he's on the fucking Pacers. So we won 119-105. And it was a good win, obviously. Like, every win is pretty much a good win. But we were letting some people kill us that shouldn't be killing us. Like, Balika, or whatever his name is, he had 13 points in the first quarter. That was ridiculous. And Rashawn Holmes finished with 20 and 9, basically 20 and 10. And it's just like, we got these bums out here killing us. It shouldn't be happening. Like, we gotta toughen up. Because, like, just like I was saying last week, we had who was it? It was whatever team. Oh, the Hawks had Jabari Parker, DeAndre Hunter. Like, 3 people had 20 points. Like, that can't be happening against good teams. Like, stuff like that. We can't be having bums kill us. If that happens with good teams, they bums is killing us, and they good players is killing us. It's just a nasty sight. And what we'll see with the next game, the Bucks, and it's not necessarily saying they're bums, but like when they have a lot of players that are killing or in double digits, it's a tough night. So, like I said, it was a good win. But then we turn around and lost on Sunday to the Bucks, 89-117. So Sabonis had 19 and 18. That's a monster game. He knocked down a couple of threes. Like, really not much you can say about that. Sabonis, he did what he needed to do. I mean, he maybe could have done more, scored some more points, but 19 to 18, shit, what can I ask? What more can I ask? You know what I'm saying? So Brogdon had 10 and 10, 10 and 10. And I love that Brogdon had 10 assists, but in games like that, big games like that, I need him to get more than 10 points. And you would think that he's playing the Bucks. You would have thought that he would want to kill. Now maybe he didn't want to force the issue, but I need you to get more than 10 points. Like, you average more than 10 points, and in the big games, I need you to show up. So I love the 10 assists. I just wish he would have got more than 10 points. So TJ Warren had 9 points, 3 assists. 3 rebounds and 0 assists. And it's just like 0 assists, 9 points. Like, TJ didn't really show up. That's definitely a reason why we lost that game. Like I said, when TJ Warren gets buckets, we win games. And he wasn't getting no buckets that game. And like I was saying, the Bucks had 6 players in double figures. Middleton had 12, 5, and 4. Wes Matthews had 19, 1, and 1. Brook Lopez had 17, 2, and 8. George Hill had 17, 4, and 9. Giannis had 18, 9, and 19. And Robin Lopez had 13, 2, and 3. So you know what I'm saying? It's just like, we couldn't stop nobody. Like, we couldn't score any points, and we couldn't stop anybody. And that's how you lose games. You know what I'm saying? We just need to come in and, like, I'm talking about beating these good teams. We've only beat one good team pretty much this whole year, and that was the Celtics. Well, okay, we just beat the Lakers. So we beat 2 good teams this year. The Lakers and the Celtics. Other than that, all we pretty much is beating teams that we're supposed to beat, and we lose to teams that we're supposed to beat too. So it's just like, I need the Pacers to show me more. Like, I know Vic's not back, and things will probably change when he gets back. But it's just like, until then, I need them to pick it up. And it just seemed like the Bucks had the clamps on us the whole game. Like I said, we couldn't score any points. And, like, we were getting jump shots blocked. Like, Brogdon got a jump shot block. Somebody else got a jump shot block. It's just like, when you get jump shots blocked, it's just not your night. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. We can't be getting jump shots blocked. And we're just leaving shooters open. It wasn't a good game for us just overall. We couldn't score points. We didn't even break 100. We couldn't score points. And we couldn't D anybody up. And it's just like, we need to show up against these good teams. I know I say that every week, but it just is what it is. Just these little things that we're doing are the reason why we lose against these good teams. Letting 6 players get into double figures. Leaving shooters open. You know what I'm saying? Not knocking down shots. Not getting our scorers the ball. You know what I'm saying? Little shit like that is what's keeping us at the 6th seed. You know what I'm saying? It's consistent. We still in the playoffs, but we need to get into the top 3. That's what I'm saying, man. Top 4, rather. So, I was looking at, like, the Pacers stats. And one stat that stuck out to me, and I just want to give a quick shout out, is Doug McDermott, man. He is shooting. And what really made me think of this, actually, is that I heard Quinn Buckner say when I was watching the Bucks game. I think he said, like, George Hill is like maybe like number 2 or number 1 3-point shooter. And he said Doug McDermott was fourth. So I went to look that shit up. And it was true. Doug McDermott is shooting 47% from 3. And that's 4th in the NBA. And apparently, I guess he's played 81% of his minutes at power forward. So that may have something to do with why he's able to shoot so good. He might be having these bigger guys that aren't expecting him. I mean, they obviously should be expecting it, but these bigger guys that aren't want to stretch out to the 3-point line, and he's getting those open threes. And I just have really personally noticed that he's just really been getting some open shots. He's really been he knocked down some tough shots too. But I just noticed he's just really been coming on this year. I'm in this group chat with my buddies, Patient Nation, and just I remember like at the beginning of the year and definitely at the end of last year, they were talking about get rid of McDermott. What's he on the team for? And he's definitely picked up his game this year. So shout out Doug McDermott, man. Like I said, I'd like to remain unbiased and give credit where credit is due. Shout out Doug McDermott. Not shout out these Stellas. I do not like these. I didn't buy these. I don't recommend them. Stella Artois, I don't recommend those beers. If I'm going to recommend a beer, I'm going to recommend Zombie Dust. Check it out if you like IPAs. So, I was doing my research, just looking stuff up about the Pacers, and I came across this one article by Forbes, and they were talking about how Goga needs more minutes. And I actually agree with that because, like, when I see Goga out there on the floor, like, there's definitely times where he shines. And it's like, damn, like, yes, I see why they drafted him. Like, he's going to be the next one. But there's a lot of times, too, where he just looks lost or just like, looks like he fully hasn't adjusted to the NBA game yet, NBA speed. And then in return, he ends up doing some stupid shit like fucking fouling or dumbass turnover or some shit. So it's just like Goga definitely needs some more minutes. And they're talking about get him in the G League, but I would like to see some more of those minutes in the actual NBA game. Now, whose minutes would he take away? I'm not exactly sure. But he was a first-round draft pick. So I would like to see him get some minutes, and I need to see him develop because there's all these other people that come into the league, you know what I'm saying, first-rounders, and they come in killing. So, I mean, I'm not really ever expecting that from our first-rounders because we always have, like, low lottery picks if we even have a lottery pick. So I don't expect too much from our players. But I would still like to see one of our first rounders, like within the first 2 years, like really contribute to the team. Like I'm tired of it being like year 3 or year 4. Like Paul George didn't really come on till like year 3, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just tired of that happening. I want us to push one of our players to year 2, be a breakout player, you know what I'm saying? Most improved type shit. So I would just love to see Goga get some more NBA minutes. Whose minutes got to go, I don't know. But he's a first rounder, so he's kind of almost got to be a priority in the future game plan, you know what I'm saying? So, a hot take. Justin Holiday is a better defender than Kawhi Leonard. Now, I know. That sounds outrageous. But, listen to me. So, Kawhi Leonard, when he is guarding an opponent, for average, they shoot 38% from the field. And on average, they shoot 23% from 3. That is when Kawhi Leonard is on defense, D'ing you up. Now, when Justin Holiday is on defense, D'ing you up, what do you think his numbers are? You would probably think it'd be higher, wouldn't you? Wrong. When Justin Holiday is on defense, on average, his opponents shoot 36% from the field and 23% from 3. I'm going to let that sink in for a minute. When Justin Holiday defends you, you're likely to shoot 36% from the field or less, 23% from the three or less. That is why Justin Holiday is a better defender than Kawhi Leonard. Now, granted, like I said, I remain unbiased. I always like to say all sides. Now, granted, Kawhi Leonard is more times than not guarding a tougher defender. Justin Holiday's not a starter, and he doesn't always guard the toughest guy. Kawhi Leonard's guarding the number one guy on the floor most nights. So they may not be guarding the best players. I mean, Justin Holiday may not be guarding the best player. Excuse me. But he is guarding the best player sometimes. There's definitely games like versus the Celtics where he closes out the games and he's out there guarding somebody worthy. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, you know what I'm saying? Marcus Smart, stuff like that. So there are games when he's guarding one of the better players on the team. But it's not like Kawhi where he's supposed to guard the number one or number two guy on the team every night. So I will give him that. But the fact still remains that Justin Holiday, when he's on defense, his defenders shoot a lower percentage. So that is why Justin Holiday is a better defender than Kawhi Leonard. Hit me up, Black on Black on Twitter, comment below why I'm a madman out of my mind or why you agree. Let me know. So, trade rumors. I talked about it last week. There's some trade rumors, Miles Turner for Kevin Love. And what they're saying is like maybe some Miles Turner, some draft picks, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. I don't really see that happening too much. They're saying the contract. But maybe they can get like a third team involved. I don't really know who the third team would be. I'm just spitballing right now. You know what I'm saying? But maybe they can get a third team involved. And if they get rid of Miles, then maybe, I mean, it really wouldn't open up any more minutes for Goga. So, I mean, I don't know. Miles is seen to be picking up his game. So, like I said, maybe when Vic come back, everything will change. He'll fix it up. So, we'll see. But another trade rumor, they're talking about maybe Miles Turner for Marcus Morris. You know what I'm saying? So Marcus Morris, he signed a 1 year, $15 million contract with the Knicks. So that makes like a lot more sense money-wise. Miles Turner's making $18 million. Marcus Morris, $15 million. That makes more sense money-wise. Those are closer together. But only way I could really see that happening is if Marcus Morris like committed to having signing a long-term contract with us. And I mean, I don't see why not he signed with the Knicks. I like Marcus Morris's game. He's definitely a hooper. He's gritty. He's tough. But I just really don't see that happening because Marcus Morris is too much of a nigga, man. Like, hey, I'm just keep 100, man. He's too much, man. Like, he's got attitude. Like, he fucking threw the ball off somebody's fucking head in you know what I'm saying, in summer league or not summer league, preseason. He threw the ball off a guy's fucking head. Like, that's some bullshit. Like, the Pacers, they don't usually sign guys that do dumbass shit like that. So I like his game, but, like, I just don't see it happening. His attitude, I don't think it'll mesh well with the Pacers organization. I would be for it, but I just don't see it happening. And like I said, Miles is picking up his game, so we'll just see. And another thing I saw was they talking about maybe Andre Iguodala. And I guess he's on the final year of his contract. He's making $17 million. And they're talking about he hasn't played at all for Memphis. You probably forgot he was on Memphis, but yeah, he's on Memphis. And it's just like, I don't really see the point in that, trading Miles for Andre Iguodala. He's on the downslope. You trade somebody that's like 24 for somebody that's like 34. Shit, I don't really know how old he is, but he's old. You know what I'm saying? He's been injured. Now, he would bring that winning mentality and some leadership, but is it worth Miles Turner? It's not. So I don't see that happening, but that's just some of the trade rumors that are out there. So, injury report. Sabonis, apparently, I'm going to say obviously, Sabonis apparently has a sore left hip. He's listed as day-to-day, but they're saying he's going to play tonight versus the Raptors. So we'll see how that goes. He's a tough guy, so I'm pretty sure he's going to play. Jeremy Lamb is out with a groin injury. He injured that versus the Lakers. Still no little timetable for him. They claiming he's day-to-day, game-time decision. I don't think he's supposed to play the Lakers game. When I say Lakers game, I think he's supposed to play versus the Raptors. So we'll see about that. And still, Victor Oladipo, he's supposed to be targeting a January return date. So they didn't give an exact date, but sometime in January. Like I've been saying, I'm not exactly expecting him back till after All-Star break, or maybe like slightly before All-Star break. That would be like midway through the season. I don't see any reason for him to rush him back. Still in the G League, probably. I don't think he's played. I haven't heard of him playing any more games, but I'm sure he's practicing. He's trying to get ready. So I'm not expecting him back until probably after the All-Star game, but we'll see. So, weekly predictions. So, last week I was 10-2, but now I'm 11-4. Now, maybe you could say 12-3 because I said that the Pacers would either beat the Lakers and lose to the Bucks, or beat the Bucks and lose to the Lakers. Now, I actually had to switch around, but I did say either or. I picked them to lose to the Lakers, but after everything, I say either or. So I really could be 12-3 if you want to give me that. But I'll just say I'm 11-4, so I won't take that. But the Pacers, they play the Raptors tonight on Monday. And the Raptors are fourth in the East at 21-8. But Pascal Siakam, Marc Gasol, and Norman Powell, they're all out. And it's the second night of a back-to-back for both teams, the Pacers and the Raptors. But last night, the Raptors came back from 30 points down. Kyle Lowry had 32 points. So that was a tough game. They might have been, they obviously was giving they all that game. So Pacers were 2-2 on back-to-backs. But I figure we'll win this game. We just lost to the Bucks. We'll want to redeem ourselves. And the Raptors, like I said, they played a hard game last night. Came back from 30 points. They might be out of gas. And I think we'll still be fired up. And I think we'll be ready to come in and get that dub tonight. So, Pacers play the Heat on Friday. The Heat, they're third in the East at 21-8. Justice Winslow, he's out indefinitely. And Dion Waiters, his suspension actually ends today. So he's set to be able to come back versus the Pacers on Friday. And just a little thing about that, he's a fucking idiot. Dion Waiters, he called in like sick. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be sick. And then he posts some pictures on like Instagram of him on a boat or whatever. So they suspended him for that. And NBA execs are saying that his career is likely over unless he has some type of unlikely turnaround, they said. And they said his contract is pretty much untradeable, making like $13 million a year. He had like a good ass year, and then he signed him to that crazy ass contract, like 4 years, $56 million or something like that. And they're just saying his contract's untradeable. Nobody wants him on his team. His attitude, he's just ridiculous. So they said his career is likely over. They said they'll probably maybe buy him out or just agree him just not return to the team. But nobody else wants that contract. Nobody wants him on his team. So they said his career is likely over. He's a fucking idiot. It's crazy how people can be making millions of dollars and don't appreciate it and squander their shit. But that's a topic for another day. So Jimmy Butler's averaging 21, 7, and 7. Bam Adebayo's averaging 16 and 11. Kendrick Nunn's averaging 16 and 3. And it's a home game for Miami. So it's kind of tough for me to go against Miami, but I'm going to get this game to the Pacers, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're going to come in, be ready to prove some shit. Fresh off a long-ass break, we play on Monday, then we don't play until Friday. So they get 4 days off. Christmas, get to eat good, you know what I'm saying? Chill with their family. Everybody be feeling good. I feel like the boys down in Miami might end up hitting some strip clubs, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be down in Miami. And they may be a little groggy. And Pacers going to be showing up. And I feel like we're going to be feeling good. And I feel like the Pacers will get that dub. It's definitely going to be a tough game. Don't think I'm saying it's going to be an easy dub. But I figure the Pacers will get that dub. So, after that, Pacers play the Pelicans on Saturday. And that'll be obviously the second game of a back-to-back. Brandon Ingram's averaging 25, 4, and 7. Justin Holiday. Drew Holiday is averaging 27 and 5. JJ Redick is averaging 16 and 2. And Zion Williamson is obviously still out. He's targeting a January return. So we'll see. But there's rumors out there saying that he's going to miss the whole season. And at this point, he hasn't played all season. They're not going to really make the playoffs. If they are in a playoff race, they're not going to really do anything in the playoffs. So, I don't really see the reason, if they think it's that much of a concern that they're really thinking about him sitting out the whole season, they might as well sit out the whole season, because I don't see why not. Now, if that's not even a thought, then go ahead and bring him back. But if that's like a thought that, the team is thinking, maybe we'll sit him out for the rest of the season, then you might as well go ahead, because there's no reason to risk any more injury or anything for this season, because nothing's going to happen this season. Let him get in shape, you know what I'm saying? Let him get his endurance under him, everything, and just sit him out. Let him heal up fully, if that's what they're thinking. So, Zion Williamson won't be playing, obviously. Like I said, Ingram's been killing. Drew Holiday's been killing. Excuse me. Excuse me. Shit. But with all that, with all that being said, I still think the Pacers will win that game. Like I said, we tend to beat teams that we're supposed to beat. Now, we do lose to some teams that we're supposed to beat, but a lot of times we beat the teams that we're supposed to beat, and we should beat the Pelicans. They're not really much of a contender. They don't really have anybody else really doing too much besides Brandon Ingram, Drew Holiday. Besides that, JJ Redick, he doesn't really scare me that much. He never really scared me, but he definitely doesn't scare me at this point in his career like that. So it's just they don't really have too much. We're supposed to beat them. I figured the Pacers pull out the dub and go 3-0 for this week. So, like I said, I'm 11-4 right now. So if you are a betting man or a betting woman, listen to Donnie Ray. I've been known to make the correct pick. Pick your parlays, whatever it is you may do, your money lines. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. I got you. So, every Pacers Premium podcast, I like to end the episode giving out some fantasy picks. Like I say, I play fantasy basketball, and I play in a money league, 20-team. But I always like to hook up the listeners and viewers with the fantasy picks if you play. So, first fantasy pick, Dwight Powell. Now, this is probably more of a standard league pickup because he's probably already picked up in deep leagues. Like he's not even available. He hasn't. He might have got drafted in my league, 20-team league, but in standard league with 12 teams, he might still be out there. So Dwight Powell, he had 17 and 9 yesterday, and he's just been coming on. I was watching the game. I forget what it might have been like. Maybe it's Mavs, Lakers. I don't know, but he was just knocking down some shots on that game. Another pickup, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. Toronto has some injuries, and he can play the 3, he can play the 4, so his minutes are going to start to pick up. Chris Boucher, another Toronto big man. Like I said, Gasol's injured, his minutes are going to pick up. Gorgie Dang, Karl Anthony Towns is injured, so he'll get more minutes. Jordan Bell, like I said, Karl Anthony Towns is injured, so he may get a couple more minutes, and he's kind of started to pick it up the past few games. Jordan Bell really is like the past season and the season before last. Before the season, he kind of been playing trash, but he's kind of starting to pick it up. That's why the Warriors didn't sign him back, because he kind of regressed. But like I said, he's been picking it up. So maybe him getting a couple more minutes, he'll produce more. Lonnie Walker IV for the Spurs. The Spurs are trash, so at some point they'll end up playing the young guys. He'll get more minutes. Radion Karooks for the Brooklyn Nets. David Naba, he tore his Achilles, so he's out for the season. So that'll open up more minutes for him. Patrick McCaw, Toronto. Like I said, Toronto is hampered with injuries. Siakam, Norman Powell, Gasol. So that'll open up more minutes for him. He's actually been starting. And the thing is, he's been starting, but he doesn't really produce too much. He's averaging it was 10 points or something, maybe. That might be too generous, but we'll just say 10 points. So he's really not doing too much, but he's getting starter minutes. And I remember at one point people was, on him, saying he was real good. So maybe he can start to show those flashes before he got injured. I remember he fucked up his tailbone, and it's kind of just been hushed since then. You haven't really heard too much about him. But maybe with these minutes, he can show us why everybody was so high on him at one point. So, those have been the fantasy pickups. And this has been the Pacers Premium Podcast, episode 5. Like I said, make sure you check me out on audio. Subscribe on wherever you listen to podcasts. Should be on there. SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, fucking Stitcher, Tuned In, Google, all them shits. We should be on all of them. So make sure you check us out. Search DonnieReysNoFilter, Raw Rational, Pacers Premium Podcast. It should all pop up. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give us 5 stars rating. Like my man Bomani Jones says, if you give us anything less than 5 stars, I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. Also, too, hit me up with your feedback, man. I'm never scared to hear the feedback. If you got any ways that I could get better, let me know. Hit me up. Comment below. Fuck it. Shit. Let me know, man. I'm just trying to get better. Can't be scared about criticism. What else? I don't really got anything. Shit. Appreciate you listening. If this is your first time listening, hope you liked it. If it's your multiple time listening, thank you for listening. I think that's pretty much all I got. This has been the Pacers Premium Podcast, episode 5. We out here.